Hello lovelies, you're welcome back to my kitchen. So if you're meeting us for the first time, my name is Chex and you're highly and warmly welcome, okay? So two things makes a great Nigerian stew. One is your tomato paste and two is your meat stock. So today I'm going to take you through my secrets to a great, tasty and flavorful Nigerian stew, okay? So let's get into it. The first thing I do when I want to prepare my Nigerian stew is to get my tomato base very tasty. Okay, so I start by blending my tomatoes, but before I do that, I will take my time to cut every single piece of it open for two reasons, guys. One is to make sure there's no rottenness in any of them, even though they might be looking so fresh and enticing, but sometimes you will never believe what is inside some of these tomatoes. Like this one I just cut now, it was just so bad that I had to just keep it aside and continue. Okay, so when I've gone through all my tomatoes, every single one of it, I will go ahead and blend it with my tatashi or shombo and with my bonnet, scotch bonnet, and with my onion. Emphasis on onions, guys, because the secret number one is onions. Aside the fact that you're working with very fresh tomatoes, you need plenty onions to make it sweeter. So I add plenty onions at this stage. Now to the second phase, getting our meat ready. Okay, so guys, here you see me struggling to cut this meat. I don't know who sent me. I used to cut my meat at the cold room, or like I used to cut it from the source, like where I bought it, but on this day I asked them to give it to me like that, only if I knew. Because somebody was not even around to help me, and this is my very first time of trying to cut lumps of meat, guys, so don't mind me struggling. Okay, let's continue. So you cut your meat to your desired sizes, and again you can use any meat of your choice, any protein of your choice. It can be fish stew, it can be turkey stew, it can be chicken stew, it doesn't matter. The only thing that varies slightly is the seasonings or the spices you're going to use. This is one of the secrets of a great Nigerian stew. The meat stock is very important. Don't even joke with this part, okay? It's very important. That's the only liquid we are adding to this stew, so you have to be mindful of it and make sure it comes out so tasty and so spicy. In here I've got my curry powder, I have my thyme, I have my fresh ginger and garlic, and I have my seasoning cubes. Okay guys, I didn't add pepper to this meat, but I later added the chili sauce. Okay, I was scared because I added a lot of pepper on the tomato sauce and I don't know how it's going to turn out, and I've got toddlers in this house. If not, on a normal you're supposed to add pepper to this meat stock, like it needs it to be hot a little bit. So I go ahead and marinate it using this my spices and a little bit of soy sauce and chili sauce. Okay, and keep them aside for some minutes before proceeding to cook. Guys, you need to test this meat afterwards. Like, it was so tender and so tasteful. In fact, when I tested this meat, I knew my stew was going to be a banger. I know you'll be wondering what water I just added because of the color, guys. Yes, that's a very special water. And my little secret again, that's actually some water I got from my tomato paste production. Okay, so instead of pouring it out, wasting it, I used it to steam my meat. Most times it adds more taste and flavor to it. So now we are trying to fry our meat now because it's tender enough to be fried. In the same pan, start frying your stew. Of course, at this point, you already know that you don't have much work to do because everything is prepped already. Your meat stock is ready and on standby. Your tomato base is already boiled down. All you need to do is to add them at the needed time. So here you put in your onions, add some garlic and ginger, and then add your tomato base that has been boiled down and start frying your stew. I don't normally turn my stew consistently. What I do is, at this point, I will just add the flavor that I want and then cover it and allow it to boil down further. Here I used fresh curry leaves. It changed the whole aroma of the stew. In fact, I know my neighbors will be wondering what Chex is cooking again today. With this, your stew will not burn. I've never made tomato stew that burns. It's not even a matter of the type of pot I am using, but because of the process that I use, okay? Add the remaining seasonings and then introduce back your fried meats. Guys, you need to do this so that these two can marry themselves very well. Look at that stew, guys, and we have not even added the odogu of the recipe. Now the odogu is here, our well spiced meat stock, guys. Just go ahead and pour it. Pour and watch so that your stew wouldn't just be watery, okay? As you can see, my stew is still very thick. I have to add the remaining stock and turn it carefully. Then one last thing, guys, is our onions again. Yes, you heard me. You add your onions the final stage and cover this stew. Allow this marriage to enjoy themselves very, very well. Just simmer it for like 3 more minutes and your stew is ready, guys.